Alright, we've just finished watching Money in the Bank 2012, and yeah, it felt like it should have lasted another 10 minutes, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I agreed with that.
The intro didn't really pump me up, to be honest with you.
The intro was alright. It just, it's a typical. I don't expect much from WWE nowadays because,
Yeah,
it's rubbish.
It was like I remember back in the old days where you'd be pumped up, like it would be like super extreme music, kind of like gets you excited, and this one was just had some quote by some unknown person, which was
I love how it said "offer unknown." Why did you have the quote then?
I don't know. A lot of weirdness happened. Our first match was Money in the Bank with Dolph Ziggler, Santino, Cody Rhodes, Damien Sandow, Tyson Kidd, Sin Cara, Lord Tensai, and Christian.
In my opinion, the best match of the night.
That was brilliant. I mean, Dolph Ziggler proving that he is awesome at selling.
Yeah.
Gets like thrown halfway into. It was like that time Albert threw Jeff Hardy into the crowd. And Jeff Hardy just took it like a champion.
It shows that Dolph Ziggler's a good sport because he just took it.
Just took it.
He just. If that was me, I would be terrified, but I would still try to take it.
Landed head first into the chairs.
He also powerbombed Sin Cara onto the ladder. Didn't break, and that looked painful.
I mean, another thing that looks painful. I mean, I don't know whose fault it would have been. I think it's just because Dolph Ziggler wouldn't be used to flipping off the curb. But I can see people blaming Sin Cara because it's the done thing.
Yeah, like Sin Cara botched in this match, but it was both sides.
Santino once again irritating me, with his little this pointless antics.
You see, I said this, Santino, no one over the age of 10 should find him funny.
It's like he's climbing it up like it's like a mountain, and then he has his sock puppet, his cobra, and he's kind of pinching at it, just a mess, a unibrowed mess. Damien Sandow, first match I've seen him in, I believe, and it was brilliant.
I thoroughly enjoyed him in it.
His pink trunks, grand.
And Cody Rhodes, Christian were good as always.
And Tyson Kidd was.
Yeah,
was
and
brilliant.
Lord Tensai was pretty good. He botched a power bomb somehow, but I have no idea. Yeah, he fell back somehow.
Oh, so he did. Yeah. Also in that match, Dolph Ziggler took a weird sort of hurricanrana off the ladder, which looked quite painful. Then there was a whole lot of different promos that could have been left for Raw.
The next night, you see, Tyson Kidd, no, Dolph Ziggler won the match.
Oh yeah, Dolph Ziggler won. And, just great selling from him, getting thrown about. I mean, it was like Rey Mysterio against in that Elimination Chamber where he's getting launched everywhere.
Drew McIntyre.
Yeah. Alberto Del Rio versus Sheamus was next.
Very boring.
I mean, I could understand where it was kind of going. It was the story about working Sheamus's arm, but it wasn't really
trying to lock in the cross arm breaker.
But it wasn't really used. It wasn't great. It was just. I mean, it felt like. I mean, I was complaining throughout the whole thing where they were just standing still. They
spent way too much time stalling.
Just walking about, and Alberto. I mean, I like them both. I like Alberto Del Rio. I like Sheamus. I mean, Alberto Del Rio. I mean, I wasn't 100% sure at first, but I liked him. Same with Sheamus. I didn't really like Sheamus because I was a bit ignorant back then. Thought, it's because he's Triple H's friend. But I think also.
Apparently.
Apparently. So we've been told. Sheamus likes. No, Triple H likes him. Sheamus, I used to not like him. I think it was also the fact that they were both two different, kind of wrestlers, different styles. You had Sheamus, who's a brawler.
Matches like that at times work, but in this case it didn't work. It was it was a bit lackluster, and it was it's not memorable in the slightest. Just like the last Money in the Bank match, it wasn't.
No, I don't even actually remember. Apart from me complaining for the majority of it, I mean, I do apologise for that, but it had to be said. Most of the things I said were pretty valid, and I didn't like the whole walking about, and it could have been utilised better. It was okay. It wasn't great. It was. It
wasn't
boring.
terrible.
It wasn't terrible. I've seen worse.
Yeah. Sheamus won.
Sheamus won.
Bro kick.
Oh, and then Dolph Ziggler came out but didn't manage to cash it in. So
yeah.
So
it was like it's furthering the storyline.
Yeah.
I guess. So that's.
Then there was like I guess people would call this a filler match. Primetime players against Primo and Epico.
AW Abraham Washington is pretty funny. He reminds me. Well, okay, I can't tell you who he reminds me of because I don't know. But
to me, he reminded me of a bit of Jimmy Hart with the whole. Jimmy Hart would have this speaker. And,
yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed this a lot more than I expected. I'd enjoy this.
It's better than I expected. Primo and Epico are really good.
I've never seen primetime players before. I mean, do you know if they're any good?
I've seen a match on NXT. I watched NXT, and they were all right. That's for people who are like, oh my god, you watch NXT, you're sad.
I mean, they're kind of like moves. They're double team moves, and plus Abraham screaming throughout. I mean, I originally didn't like the whole screaming, like him talking, and the crowd didn't seem like they were really into. But I enjoyed it. A good tag team match. Something you don't. I mean, I think
it's something that WWE barely do nowadays.
It feels like this one should have maybe been the pre-show.
Yeah.
And the actual tag team title, but even though the pre-show didn't even have the tag team titles, which was
it did. Well, according to Wikipedia.
They might have. I mean, it's just
we didn't see the pre-show.
No, we didn't. No.
So there's no point in us judging that much.
No, exactly. No, because we were a bit late into watching this. Yeah. We bought this pay-per-view, by the way. It was already.
I kind of wish we didn't.
I kind of wish we didn't buy it, but well, fair dues. Next was Daniel Bryan versus CM Punk. I had
for the title.
Yeah, for the title. Who won Primetime Players?
Primo and Epico.
The next match was the no disqualification. I mean, a match I was looking forward to, but
it was a bit disappointing.
It was a bit disappointing.
Like, AJ was the referee, and it focused way too much on her.
Oh, I know.
Like, if you're having a title match, make it focused on the title, because you're in wrestling. That's the main title you want.
I feel that if they didn't add in the no disqualification stipulation, it would have felt, because I was sort of hoping there would be a bit more, but it just...
It was extremely slow at first.
Yeah, just a lot of kicking.
And like, kicks are alright if you do it like...
once every now and then, but the whole focusing on just kicking a guy in the head, kind of, it's just a mousetrap.
It's kind of like a one-trick pony type thing.
Then I've got the whole focus on AJ just irritated me. The camera was too focused on AJ at one point when they were in the corner that no one knew what happened. I didn't see it.
CM Punk somehow refers to her Karana.
And they
didn't show it.
They didn't show it because they were too busy just looking at AJ, just wondering what she's doing now. Why do they do that? And again, like another few times standing about, focusing too much. They're both fighting over AJ. Where it should have just been like a proper, just decent wrestling match. I mean,
exactly.
This whole stipulation thing just irritated me.
Like if they added the stipulation and utilized it more. They used chairs. They used a table, but the ending was a bit like. Why it was just a backdrop for a table.
I know,
with all fairness. It's what do you expect from WWE?
I mean, for a WWE match, it was good. It wasn't because I wasn't expecting a lot, but I know for a fact CM Punk and Daniel Bryan can put on better matches than that.
CM Punk retained the title by the backdrop for a table.
Yeah. Next match was Kurt Hawkins and Tyler Rex in a handicap match against Ryback. Of course, crowd being predictable. Goldberg chance. Even though
he looks nothing like Goldberg. He reminds me more of Brock Lesnar.
Steve Wilkos.
And yeah, he looks like Steve Wilkos.
No, I was actually happy that Kurt Hawkins and Tyler Rex actually got.
They got offense.
Yeah, which was I did not expect.
This was surprisingly it was better than I expected, but it wasn't like. Great.
It wasn't great, but again, it was another filler kind of. WWE have all these superstars.
They have all these people that they could establish by doing the right things, but they don't.
They just don't.
makes me think that they're stupid.
Tyler
more
Ricks.
than anything.
I like Tyler Ricks. I liked what I've seen of him in the past, like a few years ago when he was in Superstars, and really, I liked him, like his whole pirate kind of gimmick. I mean, well, not really a pirate, but surfer.
And I liked the whole like he looked a bit like Rob Zombie for a bit, like he was a heel, and that's the way a heel should kind of look. He was pretty intimidating looking, and that's the way wrestlers should look. Ryback was pretty good. I thought he was all right in this match. Like the only things I thought were reminiscent of Goldberg was the whole staring at the camera saying "Feed me more, feed me more." That's it. But and she's trying to grow a beard, which I think don't do that.
I know. It was like I just don't know. I mean, like with this whole match, I thought it was a lot better than I expected. But, but you know, as always, when you have low expectations about anything, you always get shocked and surprised, and you're sort of like, yeah, this was actually all right. Next match was Layla, Caitlyn, and Tamina Snuka versus Beth Phoenix, Natalya, and Eve, which
was a Divas match.
Well, it's like a Divas. They called it a women's tag team match or something.
They called it a women's tag team match, even though it's like it's kind of confused me. I thought it was going to just be like Diva and Diva against Diva and Diva, not 6 women tag match. It's just that, like it's a bit of a nitpick.
Oh, there was one thing that I forgot to mention. King, like, isn't WWE got this whole
anti-bullying,
and then King calls whoever was with Primo and Epico a horse face.
And I'm sure he said something else, and like that just shows the blatant hypocrisy.
Just all this,
and
all
like,
this
don't be a bully, be a star. I should say that's patronising as anything.
Like the whole match with, I mean, I was expecting more from Natalya at heart, to be honest. I've seen her do more. It's ever since that whole stupid farting gimmick that they had.
They had a farting gimmick?
They had a farting gimmick with Natalya.
Wow. That's dumb. She's a good wrestler. Have her be a good wrestler.
I don't
care. It's a women's division. It's not like you can't sell a whole pay-per-view on the women's match. With WWE, that is.
Yeah, I just don't. I mean, and for this to be after the heavyweight title it makes no sense.
I think this should have been on the pre-show. It's not nothing special. It's not memorable as like the rest of the show. Not memorable.
Then the last match was for the other Money in the Bank match. Kane versus Chris Jericho versus The Miz, who was sporting the grand old stain above his lip. Yeah, he returned as well. Yeah,
I kind of like his new look because he's trying to grow a mustache, and I didn't know what to think of at first, but he kind of looks like a 50s movie star type.
Yeah, he was also in a movie, a villain kind of thing. And Big Show and John Cena always have. Oh, it's his first ever
Money in the Bank match.
Like, so patronising.
Who cares?
It was also
match was very predictable.
It was also Tyson Kidd's first ladder, but no one mentioned Lord Tensai's.
And Damien Sandows.
Just like, it was their first time. Why didn't they?
I'm sure it's Santino's as well.
Yeah. So they were like, oh, it's John Cena's, picking him up all the time. Why do they do that?
Like, John Cena didn't need to win this match.
They buried the Big Show alive as if it was the first time that it ever happened.
And like, you see this match, as I've been saying about the whole show, not memorable in the slightest.
Brings out the big massive ladder again. Like, and everyone's all like, oh.
We watched the one 2 years ago. We didn't watch the one last year.
No.
But the one 2 years ago had the same spot with the huge ladder. There was a huge ladder. It looked like it was just 2 ladders stuck together.
It's all just senseless. John Cena, it looked. I mean, as I said, like, it seemed like it should have ended about 10 minutes ago, or just like a few minutes. Like, it ended 10 minutes early. John Cena wins. It looks like by mistake. It looked weird. Of course, it's going to be all like, oh, I meant to do that. WWE is always messing with us because WWE are so great and. This event.
Very lackluster, not memorable. Don't really want to watch it again. There's only about 2 matches that I would recommend. Well, actually 3. I would recommend the no DQ match. It's a good match.
It is a good match for WWE, but it was just
I was disappointed. And the tag team match was pretty good, and the Money in the Bank match was tremendous.
Yeah,
that's actually probably being a bit too nice.
Well, we just finished watching it. We just finished doing the review as quickly as possible because we've got to try and get as much out there because we're not really doing very well because we only do old stuff. All right, well, see you.
See you.